have a special treat for all of you here today. For any flat racing fans, you may know the gentleman standing next to me, as he is Hall of Fame jockey Chris McCarron. Such a brilliant career. I mean, you were the Eclipse Award-winning apprentice. You came back and won the Eclipse Award as champion jockey. You had multiple Grade 1 stake wins. You won the Breeders' Cup Classic 5 times. You won over 7,000 flat races. Ali Sheba, John Henry, Tiz Now. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. I cannot even imagine how you look back on all of that and how you feel. And now you're here at Steeplechase. Your nephew, Matt McCarron, of course, a successful jump jockey for many years. He actually was just walking away with Dougie Fout's horse. What's it mean for you to be here and celebrating and all of this with us?
I tell you what, Megan, every time I hear those stats, I got to pinch myself. Seriously, I'm so blessed. I had such a wonderful career and got to ride so many fantastic fast horses and got to ride all over the world. And I also got to enjoy watching my nephew Matt ride. He rode for 20 years, and I don't know how he did it. These guys are nuts. They're crazy. And but I just left the jockey's tent, and I told them how much I admire their skill, their talent, and their courage. You know, they fall about 1 out of every 8 or 10 starts, and the horses are incredibly courageous as well. So this is my 3rd time at Iroquois. I have a dear friend who I used to ride for back in the 70s. He lives here in Brentwood, Dr. John McMahon and his wife Sharon. And so I come down here to enjoy their company and their hospitality. And this is the Kentucky Derby of steeplechase racing. And it's just such a blast for me.
It really is a special day for all of us. And of course, today, particularly having you here. For me, as a huge fan of flat racing as well as steeplechase, I watched your career when I was a young girl growing up in Northern Virginia, and Ali Sheba in 1987 was really special. Is there a win, a horse in particular that stands out for you? Maybe a relationship with Jack Van Berg or another trainer later on, something that you look back on with more favor than particular others?
Well, I guess number 1 would be Ali Sheba winning the Kentucky Derby. I traveled all over the world, and a lot of times when I'd be sitting on an airplane and the passenger next to me would recognize that I've got a tack bag with a riding crop, and they say, "Oh, are you a jockey?" The next question would be, "Have you ever ridden in the Kentucky Derby?" "Oh, yes, I have." And the next question, obviously, have you ever won it? Well, up until 1987, I was not able to say, "Yes, I won it." Finished second a couple of times, but when Ali Sheba got the job done, after stumbling at the head of the stretch, that was so exciting. But John Henry is probably the most amazing story. When he retired in 1984, he was the leading money winner of all time with $6.5 million in the bank.
Crazy.
Megan, he earned 1/3 of his total earnings in one season, his last. He was a 9-year-old, and he earned $2.3 million. And I had the pleasure of riding him the last 14 starts, and I won 8 races with him.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Such an amazing career, and we're so thrilled to have you here. And I bet it's been a big inspiration for Matt as he came up for steeplechase racing. And I can't imagine how it feels for him to have his uncle, Chris McCarron, here with him at Iroquois this afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us, Chris. We look forward to seeing your continued success. I know you have a jockey school that you're putting flat jockeys through. Tell us more about that.
Well, I retired from it a couple of years ago. It's called the North American Racing Academy, and we opened our doors back in 2006, and our graduates have gone on to win over 3,500 races, so I'm very proud of their success. And a few years back, we started a second pathway called the Horseman's Pathway, where the students learn how to work around thoroughbreds on the ground, and they want to become assistant trainers and then trainers. So I'm very proud of their accomplishments and everything. So it's something that I wanted to do for a long time, and we're able to get it done.
Well, you may be retired from riding, but you're certainly not slowing down. And again, we're thrilled to have you here. Thank you so much for allowing me to have this opportunity to interview you.
My pleasure, Megan. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Thanks.
And that wraps it up with Hall of Fame jockey Chris McCarron here at the Iroquois Steeplechase.